Hi everyone, it's been a long time since my last video, but I've had a load of questions recently from choir members and individual students about how to annotate scores quickly in rehearsals, and what shorthands I use for various things that I say as a conductor. So I thought it'd be quite useful to put a few of these in. I'm going to do 5 in this video and I've got another 5 coming up. But if there's any that that haven't been mentioned in here and you want to know about them, then do put them in the comments, and I will either give you one that I have, or if I don't have one, I'll make one up for you. Everyone's shorthand is different, and you may already have your own ones that you really like, so you don't have to change them. This is not a universal shorthand. It's just what I happen to do in my scores, and they're really useful. Mostly because when you're running through a piece quite quickly, if you've in the previous week written, for example, glottal stop, you've got to then spend time reading those words, whereas you could just do a very quick shorthand symbol and then you'll get to know what it means. So I'm going to go through 5 in this video, and here comes number 1, the glottal stop. So if you don't know what a glottal stop is, it's a hard attack on the front of a vowel. So instead of coming in softly like and, then you have a little bit more of a hard start to it. And so the way I show this is here, a vertical line in front of the vowel. So for example, in this section, instead of connecting the vowel from the to oak, then we'll separate them. So without the glottal stop would sound like this. By the oak tree's mossy moot. And with the glottal stop, by the oak tree's mossy moot. So it doesn't have to be a really hard glottal stop. You can have different versions of it. You can have a soft one, you can have a really energetic hard one, but that I tend to just show them in the same way, and you get the idea for which one you want by the style of the music. Number 2, going through without a breath. So I'm sure in choir rehearsals you would have heard your conductors saying, I know there's a comma in the text, but I don't want a breath there, make sure you go straight through. This is how I produce it. I just write it as a slur. Some people do put a forward arrow to show going through. Other people will actually use the forward arrow to show tempo and moving forward in terms of speed. So I tend to use the slur because it gives the idea of just a connection between the notes. Number 3, and this is a little more niche one. I don't use this very often, but sometimes there'll be a continuation of the text, so one sentence, for example, but there'll be a rest written in the music, and sometimes if you do that breath, it breaks up the thought process. So I prefer people to go through without a breath whilst maintaining the rest. So this is how I show it. I do a dotted slur, and in this section, if you do it with the breath, you can, I'm going to exaggerate it, but you can kind of see how it could break up the idea of the text. But in all prayer and supplication, it's not quite there, but if you go through without breathing, but still keep the crotchet rest there, but in all prayer and supplication, you're keeping that thought process all the way through to the end. And even though you can still have that rest there, you're still thinking through to the end of the phrase, and that gives a little bit more connection and direction for the audience. Number 4, and number 4 and number 5 are completely to do with the same thing, but they're just different ways of producing consonants. So every conductor and musical director has a different preference for consonants, whether you like them a bit softer, a bit more energy, really not over-pronounced, but very precisely pronounced, or slightly more relaxed. And their preferences will change depending on the context of the music as well. So in this first example, I'm going to show this, thy right hand did stand the queen, and I want to hear both Ds, hand did. And they can be done quite quickly as well. Thy right hand did stand the queen. So we have right hand did. And that's how I show that. Just a little bit of an underline of both consonants to show we need both of them together. If you want to connect them together, then we use this version, which is again a little slur, but you do it directly under both consonants. Thy right hand did stand the Queen. So again, depending on context, if it's a slightly slower piece and more relaxed, you might want to elide those consonants, or your MD, never make your own decisions on that, make sure your conductor tells you what to do. But yeah, you might want to have a little bit more of a relaxed idea, so you only do one D there. But if you've got a little bit more energy and a faster tempo, or it could be to do with the venue. If you're in a very big venue with a very boomy acoustic, you need to pronounce everything a little more precisely, so you might have to do both consonants there. So those are the first 5. As I said, I've got another video coming with 5 more, but if there's anything else that you think, oh, actually, I got asked to write this the other day, I have no idea what to do, then do let me know in the comments, and I will come up with the next one next week. So I'll see you then. Bye!